We are in our pizza battle. Today we're back in Kitchen Stadium and we are going to dazzle you with an array of delicious toppings for pizzas that we are going to create.
We got one weirdo pizza and one normal pizza.
It's not a weirdo pizza, it's a specialty pizza.
Someone had to do one.
It's perspective.
I was almost going to do a dessert pizza, but that's too tricky.
Where did you get the link from to come
So
to
what we're
this
going to get
meeting?
started
Here?
with today, actually, we're going to start right off the top. We're going to make the dough, but the dough has to rise. So we're going to start off together before we break off into our prospective battles here. We're not going to give you all of the ingredients right off the top like we usually would because we don't want to take a chance of giving away our pizzas to each other. But what we are going to do.
Well, I saw you shopping, so I know.
Yeah, well, I guess. But what I am going to do is start you off with the dough recipe. So for a basic pizza dough, we are going to use yeast today. It's going to be active. Now, Carl, you think what?
We're going to be friends until we have dough to split, and then we'll be enemies and compete. Right?
Absolutely.
Because there's a lot on the line. We got to be talking to town with our pizza. We got the judge.
Yep.
Judge coming in, Judge Caroline.
Judge Caroline is coming. Oh, well, I was hoping for Judge Melissa today. Judge Caroline isn't very, she's not able to decide.
She loves.
We love Caroline, but Caroline is such a gentle soul that it's hard for her
She
to
can't hurt feelings. Yeah.
She can't hurt feelings. No. She's very similar to me. I can't hurt feelings either.
We need a hard, cold judge.
We do need a hard, cold judge. All right. Poor Melissa, Stone Cold Melissa.
She's the real judge.
She's the judge.
So I got a hot pepper as per every show.
Yeah, but that's not what's going in the pizza dough. So let's start with that. No way, Jose. So we're going to start off first.
Basic pizza.
We've got 3/4 of a cup of warm water.
Yep.
Within that, I am putting 2.5 teaspoons of yeast. Instant yeast. So one.
This was the good yeast. We knew this one was from last time.
I'm putting, there's my half. Now I'm gonna add, as per Carl, sugar. How much sugar, Carl?
A pinch.
A pinch of sugar, and I'm gonna get Carl to start mixing that right away. So Carl's gonna, I will pinch you the sugar. So while that starts foaming, I'm gonna give you a list of the dry ingredients so that we can actually get started as well.
You got a sugar in there?
I don't have a sugar in there. I put it right there for you to pinch.
Just a little guy.
Yeah, just a little one. So now I need 2 and a half cups of flour. So I'm going to start with 1 cup of flour and then 2 and oh wait, it's not a half, it's a third. So here's my 2.
She's sabotaging my dough.
Sabotaging the dough right off the bat. That is the style of the day.
She's gonna put something weird in there.
Yeah, no, I will. I'll put some like real nice hot peppers, maybe some chili flakes.
I think that would be great.
Yeah, for you it would be good, but not for the judge.
Would it work in the dough to like chop up something super fine, or would that ruin the whole baking business?
I don't think it would ruin anything. It's just in my dough. I definitely don't want hot peppers.
You're going for a sweet.
No, I'm definitely going for that. So I've got, there's my flour. The next thing that I'm going to do is a 1/2 teaspoon of sugar. So I need a 1/2 teaspoon here. I'm going to pinch with the sugar because the sugar isn't.
Careful, I put a mouse trap in there.
A mouse trap for the mutual though?
I knew where it was.
Okay.
I was hoping your fingers
would just get it, eh?
Yeah.
I need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So again, with salt and sugar, when I'm not doing actual like pastillage or anything like that, I'm eyeballing. All right, so there we go. Then I need a 1/4 tablespoon of garlic powder.
Oh, you got your measures. I'm gonna give these a rinse.
Yeah, that's okay. So I'm gonna skip the garlic powder and then 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And then what I'm gonna do is put that in here.
I'll get you the little spoon.
Thank you. So a little spoon would be great for my garlic powder. We like to have a bit of a savory dough. And that's important when you're doing a pizza. If you're just doing like if you don't want to, you definitely don't have to put in something as aggressive as garlic powder. But it just depends on your taste. Right now, I know Carl likes this, so I'm putting quite a bit. But you do you, and you put in what makes you happy when you're at home. When you're doing flavorings, again, it's personal taste, right? How many people like to make their own pizza dough? Anybody? Feel free to chime in.
Yeah, I have.
You have?
Yeah, it's really nice when you can do it, but if you don't have time, store bought is, going to help, right?
Absolutely.
Now, as part of my interruption, there's a halfway, right? You can buy pre-made pizza dough that you can still have the fun of stretching out, right?
Yeah, that's what she was just saying.
Actually, sure, yes, that works out great.
Yeah.
That's good, save you a little time there.
So
And I know there's certain flours, I remember we were getting into the 00 flour, and they had one that was specifically for pizza dough. I wonder if the difference.
Yeah.
They said gluten, and it's a bit finer.
it's a bit, well, the 00 is definitely for, I know it's for pasta. I'm not sure
They
about
had,
pizza.
they
It's
had
probably
one
a
beside
00
it.
for pizza, eh?
That's
Who
real
knows?
specialty stuff.
That is specialty stuff. But today I've just used the regular flour that you would have in your cupboard because we had enough of it that I could do that. And so what I've done now is I'm just mixing all of those ingredients together. And I'm gonna go ahead and put it in my mixer. Now, if you're doing this by hand, no problem. You're gonna just do it by hand in the bowl and just mix, put it into a ball. That's fine. Because I'm lucky enough to have this, I'm gonna bring it over. Well,
a bit.
just over a little bit. Oh, thank
Suction
you.
cups, yeah.
Look at this guy. All right, getting the dough machine over here for just a second so that we can get this started and then warmed up and going. So I'm putting that right into
Oh,
the mixer. I will put my 2 tablespoons of olive oil in. Now that's looking, how's that looking as?
the
Does it
yeast
need
is
a little more
okay,
time?
usually I like to, oh, you put some warm water, so that's good.
I did. How much more time do you think it needs?
Well, I put some coffee in to wake them up.
Some
too.
coffee?
Yeah.
I don't know about coffee and your
You
yeast.
think that would put, you're gonna put oil in
I'm
there?
gonna put a little oil.
Oh, they're toast for sure.
Are they?
Oh.
No. So I'm just putting a little oil in there because we're gonna use that all to mix in together. How much
Mix
more
it?
time do you think that needs?
I mean, we didn't start early.
We
with
didn't
it,
start
so
early,
I
so-
think it'll be okay. I don't know. I was gonna ask if you know about doughs. Say you're doing thin crust versus thick crust. Is that dough or is that just how you roll it? You know what I mean?
I think it's a specific, I think it could be either way. I think if you want to try thin crust, you could, but I do think that there is a specific way to make a thin
Because
crust
it's
pizza dough.
crunchy. It's
Yeah, I
crunchy,
think there's a
right?
different method you could use. Does anybody on the call know the difference between thin crust and thick crust in terms of composition, like the recipe itself?
Don't know. It's probably how long you let it rise.
Maybe that too, yeah.
Yeah,
I thought there were some pizzeria experts here.
there might be, who knows? So here we go. I'm just giving this a bit of a whirl so that it can mix together.
After today, we're all pizza experts. I
We
guarantee
sure
it. I
are.
guarantee it. Especially with the weird stuff Becca's got planned.
Oh, I've
Listen,
got some stuff
Your
planned.
idea of pizza will be blown out the window.
It sure will. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put this right in and let that
Okay,
mix
so that's our
together.
yeast and oil.
Yeah, that's our yeast and oil, and I'm just letting it just come together.
Yeah.
It's important just to give it a chance to. And
It's
if
a
it
different
clumps
mixer.
up, it is. Yeah, that is a
Okay,
different
one,
mixer.
one,
Yeah, I would have preferred the claw mixer, to be honest.
one.
The claw, I didn't even think about this not being the claw. Woo! That was the opposite of what I wanted to do, and I always do something like that. There we are. All right, so we'll just do that.
You got flour all over.
Yeah,
So
well,
if you-
that's
if you can
'cause-
clear that, I'll.
Yeah, I
I'll load
can.
this one up.
We'll just do this.
We're already getting messy.
Yeah, oh gosh, of course. So I'm gonna clear this out here. You can see that it's already nice and glutinous around this part here. I'm just trying to knock it off so that Carl can give me the claw, because the claw is much more useful when you're actually making a dough. This is more of a egg white mixer
I'm
here.
feeling nice and glutinous.
Are you feeling glutinous, Carl? Oh my gosh.
Some chips away last night. I shouldn't have.
Oh, fine, nothing wrong with that. So when you're thinking pizzas, friends, what are your favorite kind of pizzas to make when you're making pizzas?
Any
Just the,
wild-
just the classic.
Simple's good, hey? I'm fighting my urge to do wacky stuff today. A little bit wacky, but sometimes simple's better, you know?
Simple is totally
Mozzarella, pepperoni. Hawaiian's a good favorite of mine.
I love a
I love
Hawaiian
the
pizza.
pineapple business. And that's Canadian, hey? That had nothing to do with Hawaii. The
Really?
inventor was Canadian, yeah.
So funny.
So that's part of our heritage.
There we
Well,
go.
the bacon with the bacon, right? On the
Yeah.
Canadian one.
Or little ham pieces. Pineapple. I'm getting so hungry just talking.
Just even talking about it, eh, Carl?
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Oh, we got a full house today.
We do have a
That's
full
great.
house
Hello,
today.
everybody.
I'm kind of thinking maybe I should double this up, Carl. I don't know if this is going to be enough dough for
Well, we're
both
gonna have to
pizzas.
go personal size thin crust.
Personal thin crust
Maybe we
pizzas
should double
today.
up, because I mean, how thin does it stretch? It's pretty thin.
It's going to stretch. But it depends how big our pizzas are, Carl.
Big as possible, I think.
If we're making big pizzas, then we should definitely
At least this big.
at least that big. All right, well, here we go. This dough is almost ready to clump
Yeah.
together now.
You know what I might do just to look busy is
What's that?
should I start grating some cheese?
You could start grating some
The
cheese, yeah.
communal mozzarella, and
So
then I'll separate.
That would be good. Okay, that sounds good. So Carl's gonna start off with our, again, we're working together at the top and then we separate at the end, but Carl's gonna start shredding. So we've just bought one of those really inexpensive
Big blocks.
big blocks of matzah. And we've done that in order to save some money.
Oh, these are floppy matzah.
These are floppy matzah. All right, so this is still pretty dry. I'm wondering if I should add a little more.
Well, you're the dough expert. That's
I
why
am the
need
dough
you.
expert.
I
yeah.
think you do need some more water for
Yeah,
sure.
I'm gonna add a little more water to this.
Yeah.
So it looks like the recipe that we used to measure may have been off. But that's okay, we will add a
Well,
little more water.
you got a good instinct about these things. She's a
I
good
do,
baker. I'm
but-
no
That's
good.
great.
Yeah,
I'm good with toppings. and
Especially for yeast dough. My goodness.
it's funny, for me, it's funny when it's not the right, when you measure and it's not the right,
strange.
Consistency. Yeah.
Different kinds of flour. I don't know. Who knows?
all right, let's try again.
Weird yeast.
Yeah, so here we go again. We are going again. I will add a bit more until it's actually clumping a little more.
Yeah.
We're gonna just let that work for a second. I don't want it to overwork, but
Oh,
I'm just adding about a quarter of a cup of water at a time.
yeah.
And just
I think
kind of
that's
pressing
enough.
it in.
That's
There,
enough.
that's looking a lot better.
What's up? Somebody was saying?
I think you've got enough water.
Do you think it's enough water?
Yeah. So we'll see. Let's put a touch and then stop. Yep.
It's
I
a
agree
fine
with that.
balance, eh?
It is a fine balance. All right, so we're gonna turn that off, bring that up. That's looking a lot better. It's coming together very nicely now. So I am gonna lift that right out of there. Now, to me, I'll be honest again, I don't know if that's gonna be enough for two pizzas. I think that's enough
I
for
mean, we
one
can go
pizza.
small pizza.
We can
That's
go
what I was
small
picturing.
pizza,
Little
yeah.
personal pan size.
Personal
Because you
pizzas
gotta
today?
fit them both in the oven, right? I
Yeah,
don't know how that's gonna work.
well, we'll make it work.
Yeah.
We're gonna do thin crust pizzas, both of us today. Does that sound like a good plan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay.
All right, to me, this is still a little, I'm gonna give it a bit of a,
Lumpy, let me show.
yeah, so I'm gonna give it a bit of a gentle work here. It feels a bit mealy to me,
Mealy.
mealy. So, but that's all right.
What's
Uh,
mealy?
Mealy just means kind of
pow-
grainy,
Grainy, powdery.
powdery to me, yeah. Which is odd, but I wonder if it's to do with the oil, but we'll see. So I'm giving that another 1 or 2 pushes, and then I'm gonna wrap it up and put it near the stove so that it can rise.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it should double. So let's see.
Should.
Should. I am gonna put just a touch because it does feel, I don't know why it feels like that to
Something's
me.
off, eh? Did
Something
you put
is-
any of the 00 or just regular?
I put none of the 0.
Interesting.
But yeah, usually the dough is more elasticy at this point, so it doesn't feel right to me, but we will see. We'll see what we can do with him. Here he is,
There he is.
There he is.
Mr. Dough, baby.
Mr. Dough Baby, and we will put him on the oven and hope for the best. Put him near the stove, I should say, not on the oven, because the oven isn't the best.
I think if you had some more time, you could do this beforehand, let it rise a bit.
You could do it beforehand, but for me, I wanted everyone to see to do it on camera.
That's the
just so
nice
that
part. Yeah,
It
'cause,
is.
I mean, anybody can talk about it, but
Yeah.
making the doughs is something
With
else.
doughs, it's nice to give people a chance to see.
Yeah.
But needless to say, I am gonna cover this up, so I'll just put this on. Carl, how's that grating coming?
Good, good. I'm gonna get to our individual weird cheeses.
All right, so
This-
let's talk about it.
So we just guessed. So we're hoping we have enough cheese to cover 2 cups. We're really winging it here, folks, but that's kind of the fun part.
Very fun.
Not to go in too far, but what did you get? You wanna show
So
me your
yeah, so
cheese?
today I got gorgonzola.
Yeah.
So my pizza today, in my opinion, my prize-winning pizza
Oh, come on.
is balsamic pear and gorgonzola pizza
Wow.
with balsamic onions.
Now, what was the original? We were looking for.
We were looking for figs because I
Figs.
like to have figs
She was gonna do fig pizza. Can you imagine?
with
Can you imagine? Balsamic.
prosciutto.
And now your pizza, no tomatoes, right?
No tomatoes
So it's that-
whatsoever.
She's got the weirdo pizza and I'm doing the tomato.
He's got the tomato
And
pizza.
when I say weirdo, I mean in the nicest way.
Oh, well,
It's-
weirdo to me is a compliment.
you
I
got
quite like
arugula?
the weirdo.
For me, I was thinking, so tomato sauce base, mozzarella. I got some jalapeno Monterey Jack, you know me, spicy stuff. But I gotta be careful, not too spicy, because I'm also gonna put little bits of turkey, which I figured would offset. I got this on sale, just my cheap Lily Dale. I'm gonna slice them small. Turkey, spinach, and a bit of spice. That's it. That's it.
So
Maybe some sriracha.
that sounds pretty tame for a Carl pizza,
Well,
doesn't it? Because I
sriracha
expected
on
just to
there.
sriracha. I expected to have the
Oh.
24 hot
Well,
peppers
there's
from
a
last
buffet
week,
for
right?
you.
Here.
Yeah, yeah.
Honestly, for those of you who are new to the Carl, Carl has a fetish for peppers, like a huge, huge
I've really
fetish.
been getting into these Scotch bonnets that Jennifer's grow. If she grows them, I'll eat them. That's
Yes,
my,
that's his mantra.
that's my motto, yeah.
Yeah.
You grow it, I'll eat it, pretty much.
So while Carl is still working on our communal
Oh,
part,
you know-
I'm gonna go ahead and get right into my
You're gonna get
balsamic
a Head
onions.
start.
I'm gonna get a head start. So the
Come on.
battle is on.
Is it?
First thing I need for my balsamic onions, so I want to do those caramelized onions, which are awesome.
That smells good.
It smells so good.
Yeah, fresh.
This is a big yellow onion. You need 2 big yellow onions, and that's the first thing you need for your balsamic onion
And
reduction.
yellow, you were saying because it's sweeter, it's easier to caramelize?
That's correct. It is sweeter. You can use the big sweet onions too, but I prefer these ones because once you get the balsamic on it, it's quite.
Are those also called Spanish?
Yeah, you could call them Spanish actually. Well, no, Spanish onions are the red
It's
onions, aren't they?
different. I don't.
I think Spanish
No, I'm
onions are the red
confused.
onions.
Maybe I've just been using the white ones. I used to always be a purple guy. but,
Purple, that's the Spanish, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah, I do think you're right about that. Now, does anybody here caramelize onions
What's the
on their
difference?
own? Like do like
Yeah.
an onion? Pardon?
You can make an actual onion pizza, right?
That's
Oh.
correct.
Like
That
an onion bread with lots and lots of caramelized onions on it,
Yeah,
and then some spices, and it's very good.
I hope you have some breath mints after that tasting number. With garlic and all onions, that sounds great, but
So I've gone ahead and done like a half dice on it.
yeah.
So you can see on my end here, I'll put this here so you can see.
I'm already fumbling. There was another half a block of cheese.
Carol,
I
could you
forgot.
kindly adjust that camera?
Are you tricking me? You're
Always.
tricking me. This is a
Always,
ruse.
Carl, I need to
This
slow
is
you
a
down because
ruse.
these extra steps I have to take to make my pizza.
Oh.
Everything's being made fresh by hand.
Is
So
it?
for me, everything is gonna take just a touch
Well,
longer than for you.
What's that Domino's box under there you're hiding?
Oh, well, you know, that's just for my own, that's my own personal, the Domino's.
No, you're
box.
gonna swap it out at the last minute and tell me you made it from scratch.
Of course I
And This
am.
dough's not gonna rise and you'll be like, well, mine's perfect.
Mine's perfect,
Yeah,
Carl.
so-
Why do you have a hard
Yeah.
one? Cool.
Yours comes in a nice box.
That's right, yeah.
Oh, my cheese is gone.
Oh,
You did it.
What? Oh, no,
Come on,
I
already?
can hide your cheese.
Already? I thought
I
you
did.
Did you actually? You did it.
Let's see if he can find it.
You did my cheese.
I hid his cheese
Oh,
right
you-
off the
I'm
bat.
gonna eat your gorgonzola.
Oh, don't you dare.
Yeah.
Oh, gross.
It's not gross.
Can't eat
Well,
the
it's a blue
gorgonzola.
cheese, right?
It's a blue cheese. How many people like blue cheese?
I love
Me,
Yeah, right.
love blue cheese.
Yeah, you see?
it. Do you want it grated or crumbled?
I'd say crumble, please.
Crumble it up.
Okay, so what I've got over here is a nice hot pan, and you are going to see quite how hot when I put my oil in.
Yeah.
Here
This
we
is
go.
Greasy crumble.
So a nice hot pan, and I'm also, the recipe also calls for 2 tablespoons of butter in with your 2 sliced onions. So I'm putting in 2 tablespoons of oil
Yeah.
and 2 tablespoons of butter in with those onions. Why are we doing that? Because we want to make sure
Butter.
that you want the taste of the butter without the burn of the butter, right? So an old trick, your hot tip this week. Hot tip. Once you got your oil in, drop your butter into the oil,
Yeah.
and it will prevent the burning. So you can see it's emulsifying right into the existing oil, and it will prevent your butter.
Oh, you're
Just
brave. Look at
burning.
that. Finger butter.
Finger butter, always. Using the magic hands is my favorite thing to
You
do.
know what? We're both getting our hands dirty.
We are getting our hands dirty today, and we are being surprisingly convivial today, considering
Well,
it is a competition.
just you wait.
Oh,
Wait
we'll
and
see.
I sabotage something.
Well, I'm only being nice because my eyes are watering from the onions. If you look at me closely, Carl will be able to tell.
She's crying
I'm
because
crying my eyes out.
she's losing already. And, she's
Oh, not because I'm losing, but
oh, it's
because.
the onions.
And in the onions go right away. So right away, I'm gonna get these sweating down into
Sweating?
this.
Okay, we're sweating onions.
We're sweating onions right away.
Yeah.
So it's important when you're first sweating off your onions, of course, to just make sure that they're all covered.
Well, those are some pretty hefty slices too.
They are some pretty hefty slices. The thing is with the onion is that like cell of that onion is primarily water, right? So it's all gonna break down loosey-goosey into these nice long pieces. I don't like to have tiny little pieces of onion.
That's my way. Yeah, I like super dice.
Yes, and super nice is great, but if you want to use them as a topping, I kind of want them to have more
Oomph.
oomph to them.
And
Yeah.
texture, right?
That's right.
Yeah, they got a bit of a crunch there still.
So I'm gonna let these kind of sweat down for a minute and soften up. And I love onions when they're soft. When I was a kid, I used to hate onions. I hated them. I don't know if it's because I was a super taster, but I didn't like them at
I
all.
think all kids kind of hate them. Now I just eat them raw.
I like
I
'em.
love them. I love onions so
I like
much.
them. How's the gorgonzola?
Oh, it's where is it? I don't know.
Where is the
Disappeared.
gorgonzola?
Oh,
Oh, Carl, where's my gorgonzola? Oh,
That's
no.
my cheese.
Oh, maybe you'll tell me where the gorgonzola. Oh,
Come
okay,
on,
there we
that's
go. That's what
Plain
friends are for.
sight.
I need to try to have a little taste
I
of this.
didn't. I smell it though. It's blue. All right. Good. It's sharp.
It's good.
Pretty sharp.
Yeah. So I love blue cheese. Who knows what kind of what makes blue cheese blue? Can somebody tell me?
Oh,
Oh,
moldy bits.
The moldy bits. But it's certainly very tasty, this blue cheese. So while that's going on, I'm also gonna go ahead. Now, what you wanna do is hit your onions once they've softened up a bit.
Yeah.
You wanna hit them with a bit of stock if you've got it.
You're gonna hit it?
I might hit it with a little stock. I'm looking for chicken stock, but I don't see it.
I hit it on you.
I do see a little bit of beef
There may be
stock.
some of the powdered stuff in or maybe that's my house. I'm mixing up
I
our
think
kitchens.
it's your house. So I've got a touch of beef
Oh.
stock here.
In the fridge, there's also liquid stock.
Oh,
I'm not sure if
okay,
it's
so
beef
I
or
want, I
chicken.
would prefer to have the liquid stock.
Top shelf.
Yeah, I see it.
See,
Gotcha. Oh, Carl, you
I
are.
got a good memory for
Look at you
locations,
here.
but
Wow.
nothing else.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is take about, while this is going down, I'm gonna take about a 3/4 of a cup of chicken
good,
stock
perfect. So you're all set.
and put it in, and then let that cook down a little bit.
soften the onions.
So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in. And what that's gonna do is just provide a really nice base for those onions to kind of soften and become delicious.
Yeah.
So that's done. There's my 3/4 of a cup. I am gonna put the lid back on there and set that aside. And as you can see right away, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it back up again. I had it turned down a little bit lower, but now that we've got the stock in there to kind of,
That'll
Help.
cool it down a bit.
yeah, it'll cool it down, but I also need for it to cook down. So now I'm gonna turn it up a bit. And we're gonna let this cook for a minute or two. And while that's cooking down, before I add that balsamic in there, I'm gonna let that go. Now, what I'm gonna do over here,
You're gonna admit defeat.
I'm not gonna admit defeat
Oh.
ever, because the next thing I'm gonna do is work on my pears. So these are Italy pears.
So
They are,
we're getting into our specialties.
Yeah.
Oh, you got fancy pears. eh?
I do, they are really nice. The reason why I chose this type of pear, yeah,
Which
okay.
pears?
The real
What
white pears, what spinach?
Oh.
Oh, no, I don't know. Oh, whoops, Carl. Quit eating. All right, we're putting this here. Take that.
Okay.
But needless to say, these are hard pears. So the beauty about them is that they're going to cook well.
So,
Some pears are soft, they don't do as
so
well.
these are our auxiliary ingredients, right?
Auxiliary ingredients,
So for
specialty.
me, I wanted to make sure, as she went with a strong cheese, my strong flavor is the spice. So, because I got Monterey Jack is pretty neutral cheese, so is mozzarella. Though it does have specks of jalapeno, I'm gonna go easy as much as I don't want to on my little pepper. Turkey's pretty bland, so I'm hoping it'll all balance out. I just winged this in my head this morning.
Well, Carl is very good at
I like
MacGyvering.
winging a recipe.
And that's good, Carl. I like that about you. I like you to
Yeah.
think on your feet. How many people make pizza that way? How many people don't really plan and just grab whatever's in
Just do
their
it.
cupboard?
Just do it.
Anyone?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
use what you
Works
got,
out.
you know.
And what does that usually end up being when you're putting that on your pizza?
Well, I usually have a lot of veggies, so I have tomato slices, pepper slices, mushrooms,
Yeah,
usually red onions.
that's. I was thinking
Sometimes
you
I'll
would.
use the vegan pepperoni or any regular pepperoni or ham or whatever. And
I was-
then I usually go for like just whatever cheese I have. And even though I used to always be mozzarella only, but the cheeses variety does work out.
Yeah, I find cheddar not so good unless it's just a little, because it's a little greasy, right?
Yeah, the cheddar's okay when you do the Hawaiian pizza,
That's true.
but not as much for some of the others. Maybe a barbecue chicken pizza would work out with cheddar.
Ooh.
I kind of think that's what mine's gonna end up tasting like, but we shall
We
see.
will see what we will see, won't
And
we?
you can get crazy. I mean, you can do non-tomato sauce,
Which is what
pizza,
I'm doing.
like a cream sauce. She's doing balsamic. I've seen barbecue sauce instead of tomato sauce, which is interesting. Kind of goes with chicken, bacon, stuff like that. Just getting my turkey real small.
There we go. So I'm slicing these pretty thin because I'm gonna lay them out that way.
Oh, look at these beautiful. She's gonna win, I think. No, I'm scared.
We'll see. Don't be
No, I'm
scared.
scared.
Come on.
Plain old turkey versus fig, balsamic, and Italian pear.
I don't know. I
How
wouldn't
can I
be too
win?
worried.
How
I
can I-
wouldn't be too worried.
Well,
I would wait and see what people
With-
enjoy. The
with-
thing is, people can be traditional.
also, you can have a judge that loves everything.
Well, that's the thing. That's the other thing.
We're all winners.
We're all winners here today.
I don't want to do both packs of turkey because I'm thinking our pizza is going to be small.
Yeah, that's fine.
And that's the other thing. You don't want to overload the top of a pizza because it won't cook so well.
Yeah,
It's hard not to go crazy with toppings, but
it can be
you
real hard
gotta,
though.
it's just limit yourself, right?
Yeah, limit a little bit
Pull back.
and then see how you do.
Yeah.
See how you go, right?
That's it. And for my spinach, I know spinach is gonna shrink at heat, so I'm not even gonna chop it. I'm gonna chop the little stems off.
Yep.
But that's about it. So pretty easy stuff for me. Wish
Are
we
you
had-
gonna cook the spinach first before you put it on?
I'm just gonna lay it on top, because
Okay,
I think it'll just shrink into nice little pieces, give me the color I need, because it's gonna be pretty bland looking. What I do at home with spinach nowadays is like, I'll be doing a stir fry and I rinse it and whatnot, but I will just throw in loose leaves of spinach, start mixing it at the end of my stir fry. And they all shrink down and
yeah.
what's in the pan. We'll see.
I was thinking more of the water, what is it gonna make the top of the pizza too wet?
I'm not gonna add too many, just almost like half garnish, a little bit of a vegetable to say it's healthy.
Yeah,
It's-
oh, just a little
Oh, it's
vegetable.
healthy. There's vegetable.
There was something
around
else
it.
to it.
Yeah,
There
okay.
we go.
So I've got my turkey and
All
now
right.
comes the fun part.
Oh gosh, keep that away from
No,
me.
I'm gonna put it in your.
No, you better not.
Here.
That, out
I'm
it goes.
gonna
Hey,
rub it on your pears.
gross. All right,
Oh,
so
look
I'm
at
gonna
you,
go ahead.
Spicy pear.
Spicy pear, I'm sure. Would you please get out of here? All right,
Oh,
here
I
we
smell
go.
it.
I can smell it too. All right, so here we go. I'm going ahead and I'm gonna just cut the ends off of there and then I'm dropping them over here. So I'm already preparing to load my pizza
Yeah?
on my end.
Oh my gosh, you don't even have the dough.
I don't even have the dough yet. No, I'm preparing my toppings now. So I'll probably chop them down again when I see how big of a pizza I've got. But for now, I'm just chopping them to the length I want.
Gosh, and you know what, if you got extra pears, that's a problem you wanna have.
That is a problem you want to have. It's an extra pair you can eat later.
Yeah, they look tasty.
They are great. All right.
Were
so-
they very hard?
No, they were,
Soft,
they
They're
were,
perfect.
yeah, perfect actually. So I'm stealing this from
Oh,
Carl
come
for just a
on.
second,
Don't
so that we can
steal.
take a look back. You can see that a lot of that stock is cooked off now. What I'm gonna do is start to add my balsamic. Now, because I didn't get figs, and I was quite heartbroken that I didn't get figs.
I'm interested in how that would have turned out.
Well,
Fresh
I love-
figs, mind you, right? You were
I
looking
love-
for.
I
Hey, am I
did.
getting a call?
It feels like you are, yeah.
Call
You are
me
getting a
middle
call
of
in the
my
middle of
show.
the show. I ended up getting a fig balsamic, which is hilarious. Here we
You got
go.
figs in there somewhere.
So you gotta have figs in there somewhere. So there's my fig
This is the
balsamic.
fancy pizza.
This is a fancy pizza. And what I'm gonna do is try to get it open here so that I can
So I got a bit of hot
make this
pepper,
work.
probably more than I need, but you know me.
I don't know, you tell me, Carl, do you have more than you need?
Well, you can always have more hot pepper, right, folks?
And out it comes. So here is my fig balsamic. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure it up into third cups here as I go.
Okay.
So we can see what I'm doing. Now, I'd like to taste this first.
Okay, spinach. You win.
So I'm gonna put that on. A third cup.
Mhm.
And a third cup. So that's 2/3 cup right there. And we'll start with that.
Let's
So-
start.
It is dark. So what we're gonna do is let that cook down now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn it down to medium heat.
I'm gonna mess
let it
with
go.
your ingredients here. What can I mess?
No, don't you dare mess with my ingredients.
Okay, okay. I wish we had a smaller tomato sauce. This feels like a waste, eh?
Yeah.
But, we've had this kicking around for
Well, that's all
quite a
right.
while.
We can use it next week,
Yeah.
hopefully.
What else can we do? You got one pair left over.
Here we go. So I'm just cooking this down. So we'll let that go for a second. Oh, you're annoying. Oh, I don't think so. All right, my next thing to do is cutting my meats.
So what kind of meat you get?
So I have Parma ham.
And
So
that's-
you could use prosciutto.
Ah.
Parma was on
Prosciutto style.
sale. Prosciutto style is what you want. But again, this is pretty good too. So I am gonna just do that. And what I'm gonna do, let's see the size of it. Because sometimes, oh no, this is the perfect size. I don't even have to cut it.
You're gonna lay them on big,
Perfect
eh?
size. I'm gonna lay them on big. That's the way I
Oh,
roll.
she's the winner.
Wanna taste it?
What'd you do to it?
It's pretty
Come
good.
on. Is there a trick?
My God. It's good
Nice
now.
and smoky.
That is
Super
good.
smoky.
That is very good.
It's really
With
good.
a pear, I think that's gonna go well.
Yeah, it's gonna be beautiful.
Here's
So-
all I got, but
While that's going on, I'm next gonna reduce a balsamic. So I need to do a balsamic glaze as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and reduce for my balsamic glaze. While
This is
these are
it.
cooking down. So Carl, what about you? Do you,
Michelin star chef, I'm done.
you don't have to work on your
No,
tomato sauce?
because simple is better,
What
right?
about your tomato? You're just gonna put the.
I'm just gonna slather on a tiny layer of tomato sauce. as is.
Really?
You would add something?
I would maybe add some, no, I wouldn't.
Oh, I
Do
see.
you? Do
Because
you,
I'm gonna
Carl?
be too spicy, you know, like if
Okay.
I don't wanna go too crazy.
Well, it's up to you.
Oh my gosh. We gotta do every man's pizza, not this
Every man's
fancy,
pizza.
fancy stuff over here.
I know, I'm super
You're
fancy
gonna-
pizza lady.
Critics are gonna review it in the
I don't know.
newspaper.
These are put together nice and
Ooh.
slowly.
I didn't wash my hands from those hot peppers.
Did you touch your eye, Carl?
Oh, but I ate spinach, a tainted spinach.
A tainted spinach. That's what
geez.
happens when you aren't paying
Oh,
attention.
geez. Ooh.
Poor Carl. There. This is looking what I want it to look like. So now I'm gonna go ahead and dunkaroo onto my tray.
Any sugar?
There are my current, no, I'll take a hard pass on the sugar. And I'm just gonna, you can see that these are nice and jammy,
Let me show everybody. Jammy.
nice and jammy.
There's
I'm
a real
looking good there.
sweetness to the.
Yeah.
jam.
Yeah, there really is.
Not much to look at, but trust me.
But they will
Smells
be
beautiful.
tasty.
Yeah.
There we are. So this is cooking.
Okay, okay.
So we're reducing, we have our onions, we're setting those down over here so that they can cool.
Coffee break.
Coffee break, yeah, for Carl.
I'm
Carl's
ahead.
ready to
I'm
go.
ahead of the
Carl
game.
is ahead. Now I have to keep a quick eye on this as well. I'm gonna get us ready to start rolling on this, but I also have to watch the balsamic because balsamic does have a fair amount of sugar, as all of you know, and it can really burn. So actually, before we start rolling, I'll bring you over here so you can see what it looks like. The balsamic here, I just don't want it to burn, so I'm gonna give it another minute or two on here before I pull it off.
So you're just thickening it?
I'm just thickening it to a syrupy state. A syrupy state. Now you can see it's real bubbly. And then I'm gonna ask you to get me a bowl again, Carl, because you're my favorite, my favorite guy.
Oh, I got nothing to do.
You got nothing to do. Carl's already doing dishes because that's his jam. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna grab a bit of flour for the cupboard. Here we go.
Oh, this is where you shine.
This is where I shine. Well, I don't know how shiny it's gonna be today, friends, given what's been going on here.
I think you're doing well.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet.
Don't worry.
So I'm gonna put this here. I can smell the yeast. So that's the good news is I can
It is
smell
a
it.
bit bigger.
It is a bit bigger. It's not huge, but it's a bit bigger. Now we're gonna go ahead and roll it out. If you don't have a conventional rolling pin, friends, what are you gonna use?
Bottle,
Yes, what kind of a bottle, Carl?
a wine bottle,
Yeah.
something glass, right? You don't have to
Absolutely.
smush,
And what do you need to do to the bottle before you do?
drink it.
Well, you could drink it, but you also need to cover it in flour.
Oh,
And
okay,
make sure that
nothing will
there's nothing
stick.
sticking to
Yeah,
it,
like a
okay?
label.
Yeah.
You know, we've done it. We've had
We
the
have
bottle in a
done
few
that.
times.
So what I'm gonna do, Carl, now what we can do is I can actually split this dough in
You
half.
want us to double roll? Oh, okay, let's do it.
Let's do it.
This is where we compete. No more talking. to
No
each
more
other.
talking,
No eye contact.
no eye contact.
Nothing.
That's all you now,
Okay,
kid.
now what do I do? You're not even gonna tell me, are you?
Now what we're gonna do is take it, you wanna roll it into a bit of a ball.
Okay.
Here you are with your personal pizza dough in a
I've
ball.
seen people do the throw.
If you want to, you
fold.
can throw and
or
stretch,
roll
but
it
what
like
I'm gonna do
this.
first for myself is I'm gonna start to stretch it this way. Lots of people do just roll it out with their hands, like if you're doing, like if you're gonna be a traditionalist. I personally am doing it this
What am I
way.
rolling for?
Well, it just makes it easier to make it into a circle.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's real
And you're
nice.
pulling and stretching, right? So if your dough is feeling a little bit dry, you can grab some oil or you can grab some water.
When are we gonna start whipping it around? I'm gonna try.
Oh, he's
Let's
gonna
do
whip his. Okay, let's see, Carl.
Is
Let's see you whip it
Instant
around.
loss if it falls on the floor.
I think if it falls on the floor and you can't feed it to anyone, yes, it becomes an instant loss.
Yeah. I'm just mashing this around. I don't really know what I'm
All
doing.
right, well, I am going on.
Oh, boy.
All right, I'm gonna roll it out again.
Wish I had a rolling pin. Come on.
All right, here we go.
What's this? You put hot peppers in there?
I didn't do that.
Oh, somebody did.
All right, here we go. Here is my bowl, my ball, ready to be rolled. He's rolling his out.
Yep.
Good. Yeah, you got it
See,
now. Yeah, I didn't do
You put
that.
Stuff in.
How did I did not put stuff in there. Good
there.
Lord. Doesn't mean I put stuff in there.
That's your nickname.
All right, dough lady. I like that. Hit that with some flour and I'm ready to rock when Carl's finished.
Hit mine with flour and hide this over here.
All right, I will take that. This. There we go. Okay, and away I go on my end. So I'm gonna roll this out now.
Now,
Here
do
we
you
are.
want to lip on the edges? Is that how?
That's
pizza's
up to
done?
you. Some people do lips on the edges, some people don't. How are you gonna do yours?
Now I'm nervous. You threw me in the deep end.
3 in the deep end, sir. It's all you do.
I don't know. I'm just like monkey see, monkey do. I'm copying what she's doing, and I don't understand why. And putting flour on it.
He can do a great job. He's quite an intuitive chef.
Oh, this is beyond me.
Is it beyond you, Carl?
I'm the topping expert. That's it.
I feel like it's not beyond you.
Oh, I'm getting tired, Becca.
I know it takes some arm strength to roll this stuff out. Mine's gonna need a stretch.
Hey, you're not gonna do like me. Look at this guy. Ready?
What?
Oh, oh.
I don't know, Carl.
You gotta add a spin.
Woo! Woo!
Does it work? Does it do anything?
It does. I think it stretches the
Yeah,
dough
it
out.
does
Sing a
stretch it.
song, Carl. Make it we'll be like we're in the pizzeria. Oh,
What's that
solo
song?
mio. Oh, solo.
I
I don't know. I don't know that one. No,
traditional-
that's
You
okay.
know the one they're always singing? in the
Yeah, I know
pizza,
that
when
one.
they're throwing pizza around.
When the moon hits
That's
your
it.
eye like a
The
big
big
pizza
pizza
pie, that's a moment.
This is looking bad.
All right, here we go. I don't know about that, Carl. That's
Is it
coming
good?
along. That's fine. You're doing a thin crust pizza.
Okay, I got the rustic edges.
The rustic edges. Mine's gonna be kind of like a focaccia. I'm gonna roll it out a little long.
Yeah.
So mine's gonna be a little different than
What
Carl's.
if I fold the edges?
Do it. See what
Oh,
happens.
cheese crust.
Cheese crust. All right, mine got so thin in a place that I'm gonna have to patch it up. See? All right, here we
So
go.
if you want a dough to stick to it, so I am gonna do a little bit just to see what happens.
So if you want a dough, you
Is
need
that
water.
Okay,
Water,
not
water,
an egg
water.
wash or anything?
Not for pizza. I don't do egg wash on pizza. I do egg wash on like challah bread.
Yeah,
That's when you want it to be shiny.
okay, that's just shine, not for sticking together.
I mean, you could stick it together with that, but it's more for shininess than that in my mind, but
It's looking good.
Egg yolk and water
Yeah,
for shine.
yeah.
I don't need no shiny pizza.
I don't need no shiny
Come on,
pizza.
give me this. This is looking unprofessional.
You're unprofessional.
It's true, most of the time.
Here we go.
Oh, it's like a rectangle, oblong.
That's okay. Thin crust pizza, you're fine.
Oblong pizza.
You're fine. Take a deep breath. You got this.
I don't know.
All right, so that's as stretchy as mine's gonna go without ripping a ton. So mine, I'm trying to pull out into like I said, one of those little kind of focaccia looking
What's that?
styles, long,
Oh, I see.
like
With the
all
rectangle. Oh, no, that's like traditional.
Yeah, so here we go. Not too
The
far.
original pizza was something like that, and it was tomato sauce, and then they would put just slices of mozzarella.
Yeah,
and
just
basil.
slices and
That's it,
basil. Yeah.
mozzarella and basil,
Simple, simple, simple.
and that was it. That's the original pizza as far as I researched.
All right, so you ready,
So
spaghetti?
what are we doing now? We're
Well,
gonna
I'm
go
ready to
into-
get
so
started.
you want to coat this, right?
Yeah, I would coat it, Carl. I should tell you not to coat it since this is a battle, but I will tell you
What
to
if
coat
there's
it.
water in there? Am I screwed?
I would wipe it.
Okay, with my apron.
Yeah.
Nobody saw that.
All right, so the first thing before I do anything for myself is I need to taste.
Oh,
So I'm gonna take a little taste of these and see how they turn out.
disqualified. No tasting allowed. How is
Good.
it? How is it? You ate my cheese or what? Whatever. Oh, Becca.
Oh, here, 1, 2, 3.
You
You
know
got
what?
this.
That was a perfect size.
It was,
Look at that.
I thought so.
Well, it's a pan pizza.
The thing is, he's got a lot of sauce, so he needs the sides.
Do I? I'm having an existential crisis here.
Are you?
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
all right, so
okay, we're good to go.
we're good to go.
Now what?
So for me, first things first, I'm gonna start with this. Carl is gonna start a little
Tomatoes on there or what?
different.
right?
No,
Okay.
no, we're gonna pass on the tomatoes.
Okay, let's get this.
I'm gonna start with my onions. So I'm gonna go ahead and start laying my onions down. Now, Carl, what are you putting on yours first?
That's a industry secret, trade secret.
Uh-huh.
Never gonna take it to my grave.
You're gonna take it to
Yeah,
your grave.
No one will ever know what's on this pizza.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get crazy with my onions. So I'm gonna lay it down because for me, my onions are like my sauce,
Yeah.
right? My onions are like my tomatoes. So on they go.
So I don't know much about anything, but pizza sauce, I assume is a thin layer, right? You don't want to go too wild.
Well, that's up to you.
Oh, you stop saying that.
No,
I need
no.
some direction.
Uh-uh. You got this. I think you know what you're doing.
You can't wing a pizza. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. You might be able to wing a pizza. Your pizza is probably, here's the difference between my pizza and Carl's pizza. My pizza is not a traditional pizza, and it's not a pizza that a ton of people would eat all the time, right? So we'll see.
That's a
That's a
5-star
specialty.
Michelin
This is a
restaurant.
specialty pizza.
You're gonna get hired, but what's that fancy?
Why am I getting hired at? I'm-
This is your interview.
My interview.
I was. it's a
All right.
secret. Okay.
So the first thing
What
we've
do you
got, yeah, looks
Lot, too
good.
much?
Looks good.
What are you gonna do?
We're gonna do cheese next.
Jeez, are you sure I'm not gonna let you?
Yeah, I would grab
How come we
both of
share
our
both of
cheeses.
us?
So here we go. That's good. So here we are. All right, so I've got gorgonzola.
Not too close.
Can you please pass me? Oh my God. Okay, I need some of that. I'm just gonna use a very little bit of that.
Okay.
So a little bit for
For
me.
me first, I'm gonna put my little bit of hot peppers. Top up. This I'm worried. I hope I don't ruin it. Someone gets a nice bite of spicy pepper.
So I don't want too much cheese on mine.
Yeah.
I just want enough. So the next thing I'm gonna go
That's
ahead
it?
and put on, well,
I'm going
more
cheesy.
cheese is
I'm going
coming,
cheesy, yeah.
is that I'm gonna start off with my pears now. So my pears go next.
That is beautiful. Look at that, eh?
So here we are. I'm just gonna lay my pears out
Cheese
flat
and-
because they're gonna need to
Look
really
at that
cut through.
presentation.
And they're not poached. They're just the way
They're
they
just-
are. Cut.
The way they are.
Here we go again. Just blowing the lid off of all cooking standards, right?
Oh, Carl, yours are looking great. Yours is gonna be delicious, and I won't be surprised if yours,
Well,
as a traditional, they win.
you can't,
Don't count yourself out so soon.
you can't lose when you're making pizza,
You really can't.
unless you really screwed it up.
All right, so
And I
I'm
gotta
gonna-
remember that I have 2 cheeses, so I like cheesy pizza, but not too cheesy.
Not too cheesy, eh? So here we go.
I'm the type that wants extra cheese.
Extra cheese.
That's it.
I sure got a lot of this Monterey Jack. I should have only graded half. Oh man, this is looking pretty,
There we go.
lunch lady special over here.
No, it's looking pretty great there. All right, so my next move is the gorgonzola.
I'm impressed.
Are you? I'm impressed with
I'm
yours. Yours
impressed.
is looking great.
It's all right. It's functional. Functional pizza. That's what I'll
Yeah.
call my new restaurant.
I like functional pizza. Functional pizza is nice.
That's right. That's what everybody usually orders.
Exactly, is what I was saying to him. Mine is a specialty, which means people won't necessarily love it. All right, so here comes my greens.
Food critics will like it. Maybe the judge.
So this is baby arugula.
It's micro arugula. I didn't know there's a new size of food you can buy. They had micro arugula, micro broccoli. Sounds cool. But what is it? Just super baby?
Super
Arugula?
baby,
Yeah,
super baby.
I like arugula. But it does have quite a flavor. So
It
maybe
does.
when it's younger, it's not so potent,
Oh, it's quite potent.
is it?
Oh, it is.
I'm gonna try
This
some.
is a strong, strong pizza.
Just a sprout, eh?
Just a sprout.
Oh, yeah. It's got that nutty taste. I don't know how to describe it. I love arugula.
All right, and to finish it off,
Oh, boy. So I'm gonna go a little more cheese on top of my spinach. just
so we can
it's-
see there's your glaze looking glazy now. See how it coats the spoon?
It's got some thickness.
There, it's coating the spoon, so you know your glaze. Oh, it's a little for me. So now I'm just gonna glaze over the top of the whole
Well, at least
thing.
you didn't put flour in my eye this time.
God, I did. I know. The last time, poor Carl.
We got lots of cheese left over.
That's okay. It's
Yeah.
gonna be all right. And there we have mine. And we've got balsamic glaze left over. That's okay. We'll put it in the fridge and use it for something else. Let's take a peek at our pizzas.
So I got the square
Carl, you wanna
shape
go
and I
right?
did go for the roll up, even though, maybe against my better judgment here. Pretty simple, just my sauce, 2 kinds of cheese, turkey, because it's gonna be spicy. I got hot peppers in there, Cajun spice. Oh, sriracha, thank you.
Sriracha. All right, and here is mine. So let me just turn that around so you can have a peek.
Oh,
So mine is caramelized onions, gorgonzola cheese. It has micro arugula. It has balsamic glaze and a little touch of mozzarella cheese on the crust. And that is mine.
You know what? Sriracha bliss. You've
Sriracha-less.
hit my key ingredient,
Oh, my Lord.
and now I'm gonna forfeit.
Now, oh, don't forfeit,
I'm
Carl.
gonna-
What are you gonna use?
Mm,
Sounds delicious.
Yeah. I'm gonna-
Yep.
Oh, Carl's using what?
That is barbecue sauce. This is what I was gonna do with the sriracha. A
Barbecue
tiny,
sauce.
just a little, it'll be fancy. It'll burn in a nice color. Won't overpower, I hope. Sriracha might be worse, actually.
Mmm,
Oh, the spinach all over the place.
so good. All right,
Is that it?
that is it. Now into the oven they go.
Look, that is a word of art.
So is yours.
So.
Picasso and Renoir, right? All right, here we go.
Okay, are they gonna fit? Who gets top shelf, who gets bottom shelf?
All right, so in they go.
375,
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
We'll see what this battle comes out like at the end.
Here, have a bite of this.
I think
spinach
that's
here.
a hard pass. Why don't you have a taste of this? Ooh. Yeah, but anyway, certainly, yes. We will be off for the next week or two, well, a couple of weeks, but we will be back the week of December 16th. We'll be back.
It's coming quick, eh?
It is coming quick, and we can't tell you how much we enjoy doing this, and we hope that we see each and every one of you back
Yeah.
that week, because we miss you when we don't see you.
And we got new face, Lynette's here,
We
so
got
everybody
Lynette,
welcome
and we got,
Lynette.
yeah, it's great to see Lynette and Susie and everybody, Stella and
Yeah.
Marlene and,
Oh, my
everyone
mom
here.
missed this one.
oh, your mom missed this one, okay. Well, it's great to have everyone here.
I'll send her a
Jill,
piece of pizza.
yeah, send her pizza in the mail.
Lay down, but, you know what, it went.
All right.
Went great, yeah. Well, we
Thanks
love
for
you all,
joining
and we'll
us.
see you in a couple weeks, okay? Until then, happy cooking.
Thank
and
you.
cleaning. Come back soon. We love you.
Thank you. Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
You should have not told me who made which. I kind of forgot anyway. Wow. Oh my goodness. I'll say a tie.
It's a
Oh, it's a tie.